Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 12-Bit Tony. Now, today on the show, since my daily game has already been uploaded, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit today about video games. Not just video games, but the consumers and developers. This is completely unscripted, so you're going to have to bear with me if some things take a minute to get out here. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible since I hate being that person who tries to talk about the video game industry when really my qualified one foot in the door in the video game industry is the fact that I've played them for a while. It's like 2.5 decades at this point of video gaming has not given me any kind of diploma. So bear with me, what I'm about to say is entirely opinionated. But I do feel like the video game industry has kind of become a bit of a crude thing for us. Not in terms of the developer quality or the amount of work put into games, but in the expectations of the consumer. And now everyone just unsubscribed. But for those of you who haven't unsubscribed to me right at that moment, bear with me here. Now, I'm not saying that we as consumers are too picky. I'm saying that some of us are too picky. There's a vocal minority that are excessively picky, and it affects the opinions of the rest of us as a whole. Now, what's a good example for this? Mass Effect 3. Perfect example of what I'm trying to get across here. Game was great. Like, I liked the game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and the ending happened, and I was like, what? Where's that? Now, the ending to Mass Effect 3 wasn't bad. It was Fight Clubby. And that's what I call it, because have you ever seen Fight Club? The movie ends on such a non-ending that it leaves you wondering. And that was the point of the Mass Effect 3 ending. But people complained and whined and moaned and griped until they changed what they had done to become something else. And, you know, that's fine because there was a lot of articles online that said, hey, BioWare actually wanted a different ending, but EA said, no, we're going to do this ending because I'm EA. Then, yeah, that makes perfect sense that they would want to change it. But regardless of what the developers wanted, I think that gamers need to realize that they are not really a part of the creative process. There's a number of people in the world right now who look at gaming and say, gaming is an art. It is an art. And you know what? I can get behind that. Play Portal. Play Limbo. Play Journey. These games are all examples of how video games can be a storytelling art form. It's a beautiful, masterful, interactive way of getting people drawn into an experience. But that experience is ruined when the consumer pipes in and says, no, I don't like your artistic vision. I want my artistic vision. I want what I expect, not what you want to do. That's when games stop being art. When they change a game like Mass Effect 3 so that the ending is something that consumers want. That is the death of art in video games. If you don't like it, tough. It's a video game. Yes, I know video games are awesome. I've been playing them for, I'm 26 years old now. I've been playing them since I was freaking something like that. I've been playing video games. So I know how great they are. I know how important they are to life and culture. I've made so many friends over video games. Me and my girlfriend play video games all the time. It's like one of the bonding things we do. But that doesn't make them omni-important. If a game comes out and I'm not satisfied with it, I pass, and I just look forward to the next game that's coming out. It's as simple as that. Why can't more people do that? We all focus so much on what we want, that what we want has become a flawless experience. We want something that is without flaw. We want something that is without fail. And unfortunately, in the video game industry, that's just not possible. You can't have a team of flawed, regular people creating a flawless product. It doesn't happen. People need to kind of loosen their pro gaming belts, I'm going to say on this one. They need to, like, calm down. Look at what they're saying and think, is this video game really worth getting this worked up about? Is this worth starting petitions about? If this one game doesn't have online multiplayer, if this one game does have online multiplayer, if they've changed the multiplayer in this game to better suit some kind of trend, is this worth getting worked up about, or should I just pass on it, vote with my wallet, and wait for the next one? Probably the better option. Again, voting with a wallet is something I don't really like to say because the majority of people that think art are video games, and again, I'm all for that. Like, to say you're voting with your wallet is like saying that the artist will stop creating just because they stop getting money for it, which in some cases will happen in the video game industry. I'm guaranteeing you. You stop buying games and a number of developers will shut down. I mean, it is a business. It's what they do. What you going to do about it? So, just what I'm trying to say here to people is to take the good with the bad. Accept the games for their flaws. Do you remember in the original Mario game? The original, not the original, not the one where you're... Not that one. I'm talking about the new Super Mario Bros. Or not new... Super Mario Bros. For the NES, 1985. In World 3-1, there's a trick you can do where you keep bouncing off a turtle shell, Koopa shell. Sorry, I said turtle shell. Remnant to my childhood. Bounce off a Koopa shell near the end flagpole. You can keep getting 1-ups. Okay, like, it's a game flaw. It is definitely a game flaw. But it's fun. And when you find out how to do it on your own, you feel accomplished, don't you? Things like that take a flaw in a game and they turn it into something else, something wonderful. And I think that's important. I think it's important to have those kind of things in games that make players feel like they are one up on the system somehow. But nowadays, if something like that, like Super Mario 3D Land had a very similar trick, and it was definitely a callback to that. And even Egoraptor made a video on his channel pretty much like jokingly bashing Nintendo for that choice where they had, I don't know, I hope it was joking. Either way, he made a video where he was like just showing the 3DS to the camera like, look, he's getting infinite. Are you even trying, Nintendo? He was getting like infinite lives bouncing off a Koopa shell. Yeah, because that's been established as a flaw that you can use in games. And they kept it in there because it's fun to exploit. It's very fun to exploit. Speaking of Nintendo, I gotta say, Nintendo is one of the few companies when it comes to gaming that I still respect. There are others, but since we are just on the topic of Nintendo, let's continue with Nintendo. Gaming has become a bit of a trend phase where developers are putting so much money. Games take millions and millions and millions of dollars to develop these days. So when developers think, I have an idea for a game, they want to see significant return because they're spending all this money on creating their game, and they want to see something come back to them. So what do? Well, shooters are popular, so they start trying to develop it as a shooter. Not because, not because it's a popularity contest. It's nothing to do with that. The reason they make it as a shooter is because shooters are what is selling. Now, guaranteed, the PlayStation 4 was just announced, and the Xbox 720, 1080, 360 no scope, whatever, is no doubt right around the corner. And I'm guaranteeing you, I will guarantee you, for the first little while, the major things you're going to see in terms of AAA games are going to be shooters and anything with violence. Well, pretty much like any kind of like Devil May Cry, Infamous, beat 'em up type thing. You're not going to see too much in the way of platforming anymore. Racing, maybe. Maybe the occasional racing game. Indie games will be big because they're cheap to develop. But when it comes to AAA, full budget, take advantage of all the new technology titles, you're going to be looking at mainly shooters because that is what's trending. And new technology means higher development costs, and developers want to see a return on that. What does that have to do with Nintendo? Everything. Because Nintendo's Wii U, I've got one over my living area there, and love the thing, it's awesome. But with it, they didn't bank on new technology because they know the newest, well, it is new technology, like it's better than the current consoles, not going to be better than the PS4. PS4 is obviously technically superior. That's the one thing people will quote me on in this video you watch. They're not banking on it being a super high-powered, better than other consoles gaming device. Because that's not what Nintendo does. Nintendo doesn't follow trends, and that's why they're blasted by the majority of the hardcore gaming community. What Nintendo does is they have an idea and they do it. Yeah, artistic integrity. Miyamoto comes up with an idea. I want to make a Wii game where you use the Wii remote as an instrument. And he does it. Why? Will it sell? Maybe not. Maybe it will. Who knows? Look at Pikmin. People probably thought that was the weirdest friggin' idea for a game ever, and it turned out to be one of the most fun IPs Nintendo's ever created. Will these things they make sell? Who knows? But they don't develop games based on trends. They refuse to do that. They will allow other game developers to make games based on trends, But what they will do is they'll think, okay, I want to make a Legend of Zelda game where Link... It's been like one day Miyamoto was probably just sitting at home and thought, what if Hyrule got flooded? Wind Waker. Right there. One day he thought, there needs to be an origin story for Legend of Zelda. Skyward Sword. Now, these are things that it seems like they're rehashing. And it really does, because they're looking at like 20 years of Mario, 20 years of Zelda, 20 years of Metroid, 20 years of Kirby. Love Kirby. But, yeah, you can see I've got Kirby in my hair. Anyway, my point is, yes, it may seem like rehashing, but look at the differences in the game. Look at the difference between Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. Very similar themes, but aesthetically they are different, which is a big thing. They try new things in almost every iteration. They carry base functionality and fundamental gameplay from one, but improve upon it and add more in the next. All those neat things you can do in Twilight Princess where you dodge around the enemy and come up behind with a sword slash, that came from Wind Waker, you know? And in Skyward Sword, they revamped the entire entire control system to revolve around motion control. And that was pretty cool of them. But, yeah, look at Mario, you know? Went from walking left to right on a screen to a big 3D world where you enter paintings, and then from that they went to a beach island resort. A beach island resort where you spray water, add pollution, and make it go away, and chase down a shadow of yourself that turned out to be Peach's illegitimate son with a giant turtle. Whoa. Galaxy, where Bowser wants to create his own friggin' universe, and you gotta run around planetoids. Cool idea. Galaxy 2 streamlined the idea and added Yoshi. I can't wait to see what they come up with the next one. And for those of you talking New Super Mario Bros., think about it. Games are taking longer and longer. How long Skyward Sword was in development? Long time. Long time. Mario games are no different. The reason why we get New Super Mario Bros. Games are because they're easy to develop, guaranteed to sell, and it's something to tide us over until the next big Mario game release. Seriously, think about it. That's why they do it. It's an easy game to develop, and they can keep adding new little things in it, be it multiplayer, be it the coin thing from New Super Mario Bros. 2, which getting 2,000 coins in one level just stopped my heart right there. It felt beautiful. And, you know, I just think, yeah, okay, it's the same IP, but they're doing enough with it, so it's not like Killzone 1, 2, 3, 4, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, 2, 1, World at War 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2. You know, it's like those ones are all the same aesthetic, the same graphics, the same freaking gameplay, like the same everything. Stuff like that. Uncharted did a little different, but at the end it just all feels very, very similar. Less like an evolution of the series and more just like the same series with slightly prettier graphics. Now, if people are okay with that, that's fine. It's just, I feel like there's more artistic integrity in what Nintendo does. I don't think I have anything else to say on this. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'm hitting 2,000 views soon, which for me is a huge accomplishment. I remember back in the last video I released, I was really proud to have 160 views. Now I've got significantly more than that. I owe that to all you guys, to Year of Shorty, to Area 85, I believe he put his name down as. He always says Area in his name. But you know who you are. Liquid Area. Who else do I owe? My wonderful girl Moogle Misha for constantly being support to me. All of my friends, all of my family. Steve, 666, the Heartless 666, who mentioned me in a video and caused my subscriber count to go up quite a bit. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to thank. I don't know, fucking Buddha. I can thank Buddha. Maybe. Can I do that? Does he accept that? I don't know. Anyway, that's 12-Bit Tony talking about the gaming community. Just try to be a little less elitist about the whole thing. Woo. Buzzword. Try to be a little more welcoming to games with flaws, because sometimes the flaws are what can actually make a game. Look at games like GTA. You know, like GTA was originally created not to be a murder simulator, but when they saw how much fun the testers were having with just running people over with their cars, they decided to focus the game design more around that. And you know what? That ended up working, didn't it? Have a little faith and just kind of, if you don't like a game, pass on it, wait for the next one. If you do like a game, like it for what it is, flaws and all. Because it's made by humans who are flawed. And speak with integrity. because we don't want to see a world where every game is a Call of Duty clone. The latest Dead Space has you crouching behind walls, fighting humans. Need I say more? Anyway, we'll make sure to check into my videos later. We've got different videos. I'll see if I can set up some annotations above me, linking you to various things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, like this video, subscribe to the channel, check me out on Facebook and Twitter at those.com/12bittony. I'll see you guys in the next one, huh? Peace out.